or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. AMP2.TV presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on AMP2.TV. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Good evening, everyone. This is your guest host, Lexi Harrington. And we are here live in Boca on Tell Us Your Business. We are here to talk about my favorite topic in the entire world, horror. And who better to talk about horror with than a band who makes songs about horror films. I am thrilled to have on the show with me the members of MRSA, the death metal band.
Howdy.
Welcome, guys. Yes. So excited to have you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
So I'd love it if you guys want to just go around and introduce yourselves and tell us what you do in the band, please.
All right. Well, I'll start off. I'm Ken Hayes. I'm the vocalist.
Oh, since you're the vocalist, I'm going to put you on the spot, like I warned you.
All right. So, with death metal, it's guttural vocals, so a lot of our lyrics sound like. And yeah, that's what I do in the band.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm Brett Ackling. I'm the drummer and drunk at times, and that's what I do in the band.
Awesome.
I'm John. I'm the bassist, John Honeycutt. I'm the newest member of the band, so they still pick on me. But
Also our sound engineer.
also the sound dude, which is cool. Probably the only reason they keep me around.
Yeah, for the most part.
And you're handsome.
Oh, thank you.
He's, very handsome.
The face of the band.
Yeah. So, first question for you guys. Why horror? I know me personally, I write horror fiction, and that's the question I get whenever that fact comes out. People ask, why do you choose to write about something so dark? Why do you engage with that subject matter? And for me, it's not really a choice. That is just the content that pops into my head. Those are the ideas that I get, and so that's what I write about. But what about you guys? Why horror?
I feel like the genre of music that we play is thematically just on the same wavelength. You know, with death metal, it's brutal, it's heavy, it's intense, there's violence, there's references to death. A lot of things you find in the horror genre.
Absolutely.
And it just kind of, well, Brett, this is your...
plus horror is just cool.
Yes, agreed. 110% agree.
Come on. Even like my mother is into horror movies, you know what I mean? So it's like, It's something that I feel like, aside from being just heavy music, we can bring, actual horror into it. And, tell a story that way instead of just talking about killing people and stuff. At least it makes a little sense.
Yeah,
motivation.
love it.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Definite motivation, yeah.
Awesome. So I'd love to hear about the process of how you guys nominate, let's say, movies to be turned into songs, and then how you guys decide on what's really going to get turned into a song.
It really just starts off in the music writing process. It's very rare that we actually say, let's write a song about this movie in particular. It's more of, hey, I've got these riffs, let's see what we can do with them. And as we're writing the song and things start to come together, you start to get a feel for what's going on, and you feel riff, and it's like, oh, well, this feels like somebody's being chased. This feels like somebody's being bludgeoned. This feels like something is just like coming out of the darkness. And as you start to get those kind of feels and vibes for stuff, that's when we kind of start brainstorming about like what scenes does this make us think of, and then that's when it's like, oh yeah, this totally makes me feel like, you know, this is going to be like Willard, you know, off of our EP. Feels like rats just scurrying around, so we made it about Willard.
Right.
And then sometimes we just have a song that just is really good, and we just throw a good movie on top of it.
Yeah, sometimes it's a lot easier. Like we have a riff, we have a song, and we're like, all right, so what's a good movie, you know, that we can use for this? We think of something obscure, something, you know, that we all like, and then basically Ken does his research and comes up with perfect lyrics to that. Yeah.
So cool.
We have like a limitless amount of
Source material.
source material.
Yeah,
seriously.
we'll never run out. We'll run out of riffs before we run out of content.
Sure. So what is a riff for people that do not know?
Just the bass. Yeah, our guitar player is in the room. Also, shout out to Joe Dwyer, our other guitarist,
Joe,
who couldn't be
who couldn't
here.
make it tonight.
Okay.
But wish he
A
was
riff
here.
is just the fundamental element of any metal song. The guitar part that is like, you know, in the smallest unit of music that would be used in a song. But
Very
you know,
cool.
it's just a riff. You just start playing.
You start with a
above your
riff,
head.
The riff.
you have multiple riffs, put them together, it becomes a song, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Very awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another thing I wanted to ask you guys was, how did you first kind of fall in love with the horror genre? I know for me, I remember being like 5, 6, 7 years old, and we still had Blockbusters, right?
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah.
had video stores.
Yeah.
And it was over my parents' dead body that I would actually get to rent a horror
Oh,
film.
yeah.
But I was always just wandering around in the horror film aisle, just looking at the covers, and I'd go home and sometimes have nightmares and
Yeah.
just be afraid of the dark. And still, next time we were at the video store, go right back in and like look at those covers, because I don't know, I felt something really great from
I
it.
think
so-
everyone kind of did that when they were younger, you know? You
Yeah.
walk down the aisle, there's the horror, you look at the
Yeah,
covers, and you're like,
spooky.
whoa, and you know, it's always kind of intriguing, you know?
Yeah, it's a
But
rush.
I remember, like, I was too young probably to watch it, but The Exorcist. Well, and I think my parents had it on VHS or something, and for some reason I wanted to stay up and watch it.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, you know, you're begging to watch it. It scared me so bad that I literally had nightmares for years about it, you know? And something about that feeling, I kind of liked it, you know, liked being scared, you know? So it's very hard nowadays for a movie to actually scare me because I'm so into it, you know?
Associated at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And I'm really
Same.
into like the special effects of all of it
Yeah.
too. So a lot of times I'll watch a whole movie and not even realize it was scary, and I was just judging it basically on
The effects.
their face. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
For me, I grew up in Asia, and we didn't really have much access to movie theaters in some spots. But they did have this bookstore that was like 2 hours away. And so Lovecraft, man, H.P. Lovecraft, you know, I
Yes.
became obsessed with Cthulhu and Edgar Allan Poe, kind of the progenitor of the genre, dare I say.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know? And so reading all that, and Stephen King down the road.
Oh, of course, gang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what got me
Yes.
into it.
For me, my parents just really loved Halloween. A very vivid memory of mine is my parents had a lawn maintenance business, and my dad pulled one of their bigger mowers off the trailer and made a dummy and threw it underneath with using the fishing worms as like severed flesh. and then he dressed up as an ugly housewife, and he would just yell at the dummy the whole time. And like that was like a part of my childhood. And then like Brett was saying, and then of course once you get into that, there was this little mom and pop video store that had this like great arcade room that had like Primal Fear and Mortal Kombat and
Yeah.
Killer Instinct, and you had to walk through the horror section to get to it. And I vividly remember always seeing the Ghoulies cover with the thing coming out of the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and like I've always wanted to watch it, and then years later I got to see it as a kid, and I'm like, oh, this is that cover is a lie. That was a lie.
That's a great movie still.
Yeah, no, it is, but like, yeah, but you just, you know, when you see it as a kid and you can't rent it, you just
Yeah.
like all these horrible things, and now you're scared of the toilet. And
Species. I remember the
Yeah.
Species cover, and my parents would never let me watch that when we
Yeah.
were down the road. I don't think.
that was a little too sexy.
Yeah, that was very sexy. That was.
Yeah, that almost looked like it was going to be a porn.
But now we're adults
Yeah,
and we can watch
alien
whatever
boy.
we
Watch
want.
Whatever we want.
Yeah,
And
it's
make songs
amazing.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's fun.
Very, very fun. So I wanted to ask you guys also about you blend images, correct? You play horror movie clips as you guys are playing live, and then you have a YouTube channel, I believe.
Yes, yeah, we do have a
Yes.
YouTube channel.
Cool. So how about telling me and our listeners about the decision behind adding the images into your performance, and how about the YouTube channel?
So using the visuals from the movie is just makes sense.
Okay.
Because the material's already about the movie. The lyrics are either exact quotes and lines from the movie or some kind of clear plot point from it. So mainly the live stuff is kind of more of just a collection of all the stuff that we love. Just
Right.
kind of playing what
Just
we're going
some
on.
imagery in the
Yeah,
background.
for the most part, but it's
Yeah.
all horror movie. But the YouTube stuff we do specifically, and this is something a trend we plan to keep throughout the entire project, is that
Great.
Yeah.
whatever movie the song is about, clips from the movie are going to be woven into it, and it's basically just a trailer type cut, or I try to sync up the visuals with what actually is going on in that part of the song. It just varies from song to song. Like with our song Brain Dead, as soon as we knew we were doing that song and doing that movie for that song, I wanted the lawnmower scene, which is this
Right.
iconic, for anybody listening, it's an iconic scene from a Peter Jackson movie from New Zealand. It's known as Dead Alive here. A astronomical amount of fake blood, like rivaling Evil
So
Dead.
good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's
it's-
a lot of blood.
And it's just so we just knew that I was going to do a lawnmower scene, and when I was editing the video, it just synced up. It was just like this whole Dark Side of the Moon Wizard of Oz moment where everything just like synced
He
up.
does all the videos, by the way.
Yeah.
Kevin
Yeah, I do.
here.
Yeah, anything
Very cool.
visual with the band. Since all I know how to do is just scream. I had
You're
to
good at screaming, though.
Scream
You're
well.
good at
Yeah.
screaming.
Scream
well.
He does
Well-
more than that. He's got that silky smooth voice.
Uh-huh.
He could take your job here.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
We'll see. I'll see if they. I can't hear you. So it varies from song to song, but the idea has always been that we want to use samples from the movies for audio, visuals from the movies for the visual stuff, and just it's not about us as the band, it's about the movies. So
Okay.
to have the videos just be nothing but clips from the movie and nothing about us is perfectly fine. So it's just it just goes from song to song, like what's the tone, because then I'll play with the color levels and the warmth or the coolness and stuff, and just kind of try to play off of what's already happening audio, as far as the song is going.
Right.
To create the visual effect. So it's not just like, oh, I'm watching the movie while this is playing. It's
Right.
kind of a little bit more art to it than just
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea has always been use the movie, like a buffalo, just use every part of it.
Yes, absolutely. Nothing goes to waste.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nothing goes to waste. Awesome. So I want to play some of your guys' song. We're gonna play a piece of Reanimator.
Cool.
Do you guys want to say anything about the song before we go ahead with that?
So Reanimator is Dixon's favorite movie.
Okay.
And also majorly, you wrote all the riffs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's his song, it's his movie, and Reanimator is from the '80s, and it's based off of an H.P. Lovecraft story by the same title.
Cool. Lovecraft.
And it's about a medical student that figures out how to reanimate dead flesh, and it's kind of a zombie story, but not at the same time. It's a little bit more in depth than that, but yeah, we wrote a song about it.
All right. Awesome. Can we hear that? Thank
His
you.
experiments have always been unorthodox.
It was dead.
But lately, they're getting out of hand. And he's just made a discovery that could wake up the dead.
talk now?
Yep.
All right, we are back. Surprise. So one other thing I wanted to ask you guys. How about an interesting fact that I would never guess about you guys just by looking at you and seeing you as members of this death metal band, MRSA? Do you guys secretly make pottery at home? Do you foster baby animals in your spare time?
Well, I think for Johnny, the big thing is that you spent a lot of time overseas.
Yeah, I've only been in America since 2001.
Really?
Yeah. I grew up in the Philippines mostly, but spent time in like Japan, Hong Kong, all over Asia. So
Clearly
Yeah.
from his
Very cool.
blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah, you
look
can
very,
see that.
You can tell
Yeah,
the
you can tell.
heritage.
Very Asian.
Yeah.
Mike is an expert chef. He's actually been on TV before on, what was it called? Cutthroat Kitchen. Yeah, that's a pretty awesome fact. That
Yeah,
still
that's a great
blows my
one.
mind when I hear it.
He just got us to be
cool.
on another show too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Don't know the details about that
Congrats.
one, but
Something about me.
Yeah, interesting fact. Anything.
He's over 30.
No,
is he?
no,
What?
definitely not.
Pisces, what are you?
I like short walks on the beach.
Short.
No, I don't know, man. I'm a Star Wars fan.
Cool.
His collection.
I'm a
he has
collector.
collectibles.
I'm a collector. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a weird fact about me.
Wall
Okay.
to wall of memorabilia and action figures and movie stuff. It's very impressive.
Very cool.
yeah, it's actually
That's cool.
yeah. I didn't even think about
Well, that
that.
could be cool
Yeah.
or totally uncool.
I think that's pretty
no, it's beautiful because it's actually it's part of our HQ. It's part of our headquarters. It's where we hang out.
Yes.
and where we come up with a lot of ideas for this. It really does help play into the factor because you're just sensory overload. You're just in this environment where it's just everything is just movie, cinema, entertainment.
Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have horror memorabilia and stuff like that. you know.
Yeah. No, it's like
Awesome.
it
Lightsabers.
keeps us immersed.
Lightsabers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Immersed.
Out in the streets, they
All right,
call it
so I think we
Mercer.
need to go for a commercial break. So when we come back, we'll just talk a little bit more with MRSA about some of their upcoming projects, and we'll keep coming. So,
Sounds good.
yeah.
vCard Global is the world's smartest business card that virtually allows a person or business to digitally share all of their information. With a vCard, sharing information is one simple click away. No need to open emails, websites, or social media. Updating information is easy and instant. vCard Global is the ultimate marketing tool, transforming the way we connect, communicate, and collaborate to grow your business. Text JENNG to 80800. Revolutionize your business card. For information, contact Jennifer. Text JENNG to 80800 for your free digital business card today.
You are listening to Tell Us Your Business, where our invited guests share all the knowledge of their business and how important it is what they do in our community. If you want to be part of the conversation, call into the show at 888-565-1470 and tell us what's on your mind. Now, back to Tell Us Your Business.
Yeah. And we are back live on the air. Welcome back. Tell us your business. And I'm here with MRSA. Let's keep going with our conversation. I'd love to talk about how you guys recorded the album yourself. I understand. So do you want to tell me about why you decided to do that and what that process was like?
Yeah, the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The money was a big factor.
Okay.
I'm a sound dude by trade. You know, that's like what I do when I'm not jamming. Basically, that's it, and sleeping. So it kind of just started off super low key. We were gonna do it live in Brett's house but it just kind of exploded from there. We wanted to do it all ourselves completely. So one at a time we went through and we tracked stuff. Brett's drums are recorded and guitars are recorded in the actual room we rehearse, which I think is pretty cool because the vibe of where all the creative process happens, it's like in the record, you know. You can hear the ceiling fan and later on because it's too hot in there.
That is cool.
It was a
Very
flaw.
It's good.
You can
Very
still hear it
organic.
if you listen close enough.
Oh yeah. No, there's a lot of
There's a lot. You can hear us like swearing at the end of songs when we messed up or like hurt our hands and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Reanimator, you can hear kind of a joke vocal. He does this Reanimator, like
That's
if you turn it way up, you can hear it
You
on
can hear
there.
it. I'm gonna look for that. Okay.
Oh,
But,
yeah,
I did a lap seal guitar solo.
He did
Yeah.
I don't know if it made the cut. though.
parts of it.
Yeah, I think
Parts of it, yeah, it's
Did
in
it
there,
really?
man. Yeah, we did some stuff at DB Studios. So shout out to Dustin there. That's Mike's homeboy. Really appreciate the help with that. But then, they just told me what they wanted and where I was screwing up, and other than that, they let me kind of do my thing, which is cool and terrifying at the same time. But
Cool.
it seems like everybody digs it. So
It came
it
out
worked.
great in my opinion.
Awesome.
Came
Yeah,
out fabulous.
and now the next big thing is to do a full length
Yeah.
down the road.
which will be
And now
fun.
that we've done this 5-song EP, we now know what to expect from each other.
Yeah,
You know, we understand each other's work ethics, so now it's just going to be even faster and better.
it was a lot of
Stronger,
fun.
stronger,
Exciting.
Stronger, harder,
harder,
faster.
harder.
It was awesome though. These guys are really killer musicians, and like working with them one at a time and seeing the process and watching
Yeah,
them do it.
it's crazy. We have like 5 people in the band,
Yeah.
and literally everybody is writing something
Yeah,
I love it.
at some point. So everything is different.
And then
Every
there's-
song
and
is
so
and
it's
it's-
collaborative.
Yeah,
All of us
absolutely.
working
Oh, yeah.
together,
Yeah.
and then
Absolutely.
this finished product
Yeah.
comes out of it.
and we all are, you know, veterans, so we all have like 10 plus years of experience doing this. So this is
Cool.
I mean, for me and Mike, this is a side project for
Yeah,
us.
yeah, well,
or a second
yeah.
project.
Yeah, it's a second
Yeah, at
project.
this point,
I would
yeah,
say it's a second
But it started out
project.
as a side project. Yeah, we have our own other bands, or original bands that we started years ago,
Very cool.
and we just got invited to do this because we had
Because it's not old and stale like our other bands. Yeah.
You said it, I didn't.
we are not saying
It's
that.
his fault.
We are not claiming
no.
that.
Yeah. So how about favorite? Let's share favorite horror movies, or how about the horror movie that scared you the most?
Okay.
Why
Yeah.
not both?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, both. Let's do
So
both.
favorite horror movie, John
Yes.
Carpenter's The Thing.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Good one.
Anytime it's on, I will watch it, and I try to watch it at least once a year, if
Cool.
I can. That is just for me. Just man, when I saw that, it just stood out to me. It's just been a part of my lexicon ever since. As far as scariest movie,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's considered horror. I think it'd be kind of more of a thriller, but the alien abduction movie, Fire in the Sky.
Okay.
I saw that at like the wrong age or something.
Brett laughs.
Yeah, or like, but they're just the whole scene of him being dragged down the hallway and like waking up with like the mucus film on him and everything. It was just
Oh, wow.
yeah, it just burned itself into my just right here in the frontal lobe.
Totally.
I think my favorite, I don't know why, is Jeepers Creepers. It just holds a special place. I think that demon guy is really interesting and really cool. Mm-hmm. And just, I don't
Agreed.
care for the sequels very much, but that first one, one of the few movies that scared me is Event Horizon. When I saw it, the flashes of them in hell really freaked me out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Great movie.
Oh, me?
Mike, have you seen any movies before?
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
watched it?
Yeah, I watch movies.
Did any of them ever scare you?
Well, I think one of my favorites is Hellraiser 2.
Okay.
Hellbound and Heart.
Yep, hard. That's a hard boy. And what scared me the most, man, honestly, that Scooby Doo movie, the live action one, with Freddie Prinze Jr. It was
Seeing him as a blonde.
Yeah.
Valid.
it
It
was
was
not
weird.
only confusing but extremely disorienting. You know, like some of the ghouls
Yeah.
just didn't jump.
It was a lot.
Yeah. Yes. It was a lot.
Okay.
It was a lot to handle.
Totally.
So, yeah, I'm still scarred.
Of course.
That's right, buddy.
What about
Yeah,
you, Lex?
You'll be
you'll
all right, man.
okay. My favorite is probably Insidious. I love how James Wan did the ghosts in that movie. Just felt that was very
I do like
magical.
those.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
And the one that traumatized me was The Ring. I also saw that, I think, when I was a little too young to have seen
That whole nail pulling back scene, I think that gets everybody.
The one, her coming out of the
yeah.
TV
It
is
was
so
her-
iconic now.
Yeah,
you know?
so
Yeah.
iconic. And I literally had to sleep with the lights on for a month. Not exaggerating. After I saw that movie, because I was worried I was going to open my eyes and see Samara just standing over my bed. 7 days. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely
Yeah. So we're almost out of time. Do you guys want to tell our listeners where they can see more of you?
Yes. So you can find us on YouTube. I believe it's youtube.com/MRSA the band.
Okay.
Although you can also search for MRSA the band, and that should direct you to it. Our Facebook is facebook.com/MRSA the band. And same with our Instagram. Basically, all of our social media, it's MRSA the band. So, and it's where's my button? It's it's this little logo here. This one here, you can't miss it.
The Necronomicon.
Yeah, and if you find a bunch of heavy metal and horror movies, then you found the right spot.
Awesome. Sounds great. We have a few more seconds, so thank you guys so much for
Well,
coming
thank you
on
so much for
air.
having us.
Yeah,
This
this
was
was
fun.
so much fun. Yeah.
I hope we get to do this again.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. Love to hear about your guys' new project, the full length. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
absolutely.
Yeah.
If you live in
Yeah.
Florida,
Bye.
come see
Good
us.
night,
Take care,
everyone.
everybody.
Pleasant nightmares.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.